Let's bring in Mark Simone, WOR radio host, and Jake Blumenkrantz, who is a New York State Assemblyman. Great to see you, gentlemen. Mark, why did Stefanik drop out?
Well, the internal polling was disastrous. She was way behind. She was 20-something points behind and slipping. She wasn't going to have an easy time of it. And the truth is, she's brilliant in Congress, and she's heroic on those committees interrogating people. But the truth is, this is a management job, and she's not a manager. None of those skills would come in as governor. Bruce Blakeman is a tremendous manager. He's basically the governor of Long Island, and as county executive, he's been the single best one in America. He's far more qualified. He's much closer to President Trump. Known him 30 years. He was at both inaugurations, and he doesn't run away from that. You know, Hochul can call him MAGA, whatever, but Trump came to Long Island a couple of times with Blakeman. They did stuff together. He's very proud of his relationship.
Jake, you're a Republican in a very blue state, a radically blue state, if you take Manhattan into consideration, with a Marxist mayor, for God's sakes. You're young. But are you forgive me for saying this, are you a dying breed in these blue states that are tending more and more and more to the left?
Now, I'll say absolutely not to that because of people like Bruce Blakeman. Our county executive, I serve in Nassau County on a state level.
You're a little biased, we should say,
I'm a little
because
biased.
you guys are in the same community.
But I'm biased because I've worked with him on creating programs in intelligence-led policing, on holding the line, on taxes, on that county level. He has done everything in his power to fight back against a state that is constantly trying to hurt working-class families. Bruce has created a blueprint for Republicans to win in blue areas, one that I and many of the other representatives in Nassau County have championed along with him, and I'm excited to see his race. I'm excited to see the people of New York get to know him like we in Nassau County know him, and to see the race he'll put up against the atrocities going on in Albany.
But you're not worried that so many people have left New York as a result of the move to the left, primarily from New York City, but it's a big stronghold that it's impossible for a Republican to win governor anymore.
Let me put it this way. Bruce Blakeman didn't win because he won Republican votes. He won because he overall won so many independent voters in Nassau County. And he'll do the same on a state level on election night, and we'll see him be the next governor.
All right,
of the state of New
Mark,
York.
let's get out of the East Coast, move to the Midwest, and Minnesota in particular, because you have two leaders there, the governor himself, who has got problems that we'll talk about in a second, but the AG, the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, he used to be on the far, far left of the Democratic Party. Now he's sort of a middle grounder, but he's claiming that he's this big crime fighter. He's coming out with all these ads. You can see him on X posts claiming that he really knows. He's the reason these scammers were caught in this $6 billion scam. But he was caught on tape talking to some of these scammers and saying how, oh, you don't have to worry, I'm here to protect you, or whatever it is he said, that essentially I'm on your side. And later on, apparently some campaign money from these scammers went in his way. So how can he claim that he's part of the cleanup job when he's the guy who messed it all up?
Well, in his defense, he's a Democrat. They only go after Republicans. If you are a Democrat committing crime, they love you. You know, this whole 60 Minutes furor about they want to do this piece on the El Salvador prison. This is the biggest taxpayer fraud in American history. It's up to $9 billion. How many reporters has 60 Minutes sent to Minnesota to look into this? I have the number. It's 0.
Well, I'm not so sure. Barry Weiss, who's now in control of that, she's the one who pulled that story that just didn't it was a very weak story. But I wouldn't be surprised if she sort of insisted that 60 Minutes get onto this story, because it's huge. And the governor, by the way, Jake, has this extraordinary confluence of emails that he sent to the state workers. The Minnesota Social Services Union claimed that he was going after the whistleblowers. They knew that there was nonsense going on. They tried to go to him, and he broke the law, because there is a state whistleblower law that specifically says if you engage in any action that goes after an employee for making a good faith report or violation of federal or state law, you're breaking the law. Isn't the governor breaking the law here?
David, between the AG and the governor, it is like arsonists selling fire extinguishers, and no one's buying what they're selling. I want to see the two of them dragged to Washington. I want to see a hearing in which they have to, we need answers, right? They need to answer to the crimes we've seen committed, and the fact that they let this go unfettered and unchecked while waste, fraud, and abuse was continuing in Minnesota under their watch. We need answers.
Well, the Treasury Department is sending agents, and those Treasury agents don't mess around. They are very well trained. They don't let a stone go unturned when they're going after somebody.
And when they're done in Minnesota, I want them to come here to New York.
Well, and we got to bring you back because you say the same thing as that happened there is happening here as well.
10 times the scale, I would bet it.
Unbelievable. Mark, Jake, great to see you both. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful holiday. Coming